Buenos dias, it's Angel. I watched my last video and I was like, yo, I'm too fucking funny to let this shit slide, so I'm gonna make another one. I think I'm gonna post this on my story, I'm not sure. I'm gonna make this channel like a story time thing because I have a lot of stories. I'm pretty sure like my girlfriends love to hear. I don't think a dude will be watching this, but if you are, hit my line. No, but actually, if a dude is watching this, look away. I already have a fucking awful reputation. I'm gonna fucking hate editing this video. Back in 2020, I had this like friend group thing. They were chill, they were cool. There was like 7 of us, I don't remember, but there's like a lot of us. My friend group would like always like bike around the village a lot. With like lockdown, we didn't really have like shit to do, so we would just like do whatever. We would be out from like 3 to like 7 at night. I don't want to give this kid a cool name. I think I'm gonna go with like Sam and I decided like we wanted to date or whatever, but our friend group like really against like, you know, don't date people in the group because that's fucking weird. And so I was like, yo Sam, I kind of like you, and he was like, yeah, I kind of like you too. I don't know how, but he did. We kind of kept it secret from the group a little bit. That time the entire friend group was like, yo, you guys want to go for like a bike ride around the village again? It's like only thing we do, honestly. But that time me and Sam were like, oh no, we can't, we're like sick. Me and Sam were like, nah, we can't, we're sick. And then the group was like, okay, that's kind of suspicious, but okay, whatever. I already told one of my friends in that group who also liked Sam before me, and she was like, ooh, where are you going? And I was like, oh, I'm gonna go meet Sam. And yeah, but like where? And then I was like, I'm gonna go meet him at his house, because you know we've been biking past each other's houses a lot, but I haven't actually been in like his house before, because he was like, nah, we can't have visitors and shit because it's like quarantine and it's weird. And so I was like, okay, bet, whatever. He showed up in his like little bike and so he took me to his place. I dropped off my bike at like the outside of his gate. By the way, his house is fucking beautiful, dog. So he was like showing me around his house. Dog has a basement. He has like I don't know what this is called. He has like a fucking man cave underneath his house, and I was like, ooh, this kid got money. He was in like a prestigious school, but I didn't know that it was that kind of money. I'm gonna take note of that. He took me to his room, I guess. I don't think it was his room, just like a spare room. I was like, yo, you wanna chill here for a bit? And I was like, yeah, sure, whatever. I was feeling bad and bougie and bold at that time, so I was like, okay, let me close the door. If anyone's related to me watching this video, I need you to fucking look away right now. I closed the door, and granted, I was like 14 and I was still like kind of scared of intimacy, but I was down for the idea of like making out. We've done it before, but it wasn't in like a closed space area, so I couldn't really go at it. What the fuck am I talking about? I closed the door and he was like, yo, what are you planning on doing? And I was like, just shut up. And then he started like kissing me. I'm not having kids, dog. Nothing really happened. We really just like started kissing and shit. I think that's enough, because he was trying to be like, hey yo, do you want to like do this on the bed? There was like a spare bed, but it was just like filled with garbage and shit, and I was like, nah, I'm not feeling that. But I really didn't want to push anything further, and thank God he wasn't trying to push me. That was such a fucking stupid situation, dog. Anyway, by the time we finished, I'm pretty sure it was like 4 at noon, and so our friends were still like running around the village looking for us or something, because they figured out that we were gone. I don't know how, but you know, they did. And so I went down the stairs first, and then he was like following behind me, and then his mom was there. Yeah, his mom was beautiful, dog, and short, because he was short. Homie was short, okay? I don't think it was a growth spurt problem. I think it was just short, because his mom was short, and then I saw his dad too, and he was short too. But you know, body positive, I don't fucking know. I saw his mom, and that was so embarrassing because she saw us come down the stairs. I don't think he ever brought like a girl home yet at that point, and it was like so fucking awkward. But his mom was beautiful, and I was like, hi, my name is Angel, nice to meet you. And she was like, oh, hi, who's this? And Sam was like, oh, this is just like a friend. And I was like, okay, I guess I'm just a friend. Because we did like say before the fling, like, yo, I don't want a relationship right now. I can just like, I just want this to be like an experimental phase or whatever. I know the mom was peeping that shit, and she was like, nah, this not a friend. But you know, she kept quiet. And so I took my bike out, and then we met our friends again, and then they saw us biking together, and I think they put like 2 and 2, and they were like, nah, these two dating for sure. I don't know why our friend group was so fucking dramatic. It was just like, bro, no one's gonna fucking care. We're in a pandejo, we're in a pandemic. People are dying outside of this fucking village. No one cares about like 2 teenagers dating, bro. So yeah, that's the first story. That one's not wild yet. Okay, let me just continue. So me and Sam have been dating for a while now, and like our friend group already knows, but like we haven't done anything in front of them because that's like fucking weird, and too much PDA is really uncomfortable for me. We be holding hands and shit. Be holding hands and shit, and I'd be like hugging him. I thought I was like in a real relationship, even though I just said like it was a fling. Like our friend group was like biking around the village or whatever, and then oop, and then Sam was like, yo, do you like want to stop over? Because our playground has like this gazebo area thing. It's like for parties that you can rent or whatever, but most of the time it's empty, especially at like the quarantine. And so he was like, yo, do you want to like slow down after this and we can go to like the gazebo or whatever? And I was like, what are you planning? And he wasn't being direct, which annoyed me for some reason. And I was like, okay. My friends were like already heading home anyway. We just like decided to like separate from the group. They went home and we biked to like the playground where the gazebo was. I was like, yo, what's your plan? And he was just like, no, just follow me, mommy. And I was like, ooh. This is so stupid. I was 14. Hear me out. I was so easily wooed, bro. He took me to the empty gazebo. Before we even like separated from the group, I was already like feeling something like, let's just say this, I faint really easily. I don't know why. I don't think it's genetic. Anyway, just keep that in mind. So I was already like feeling something was wrong, but I still wanted to follow his lead. You know, it was a chance to make out and I wanted to see this kid drop him draws. While I was following him into the gazebo, I was feeling like, yo, I feel lightheaded, but I didn't tell him. I didn't want him to get like worried. And so he was like, close the door, and I was like, ooh, okay. And so I closed the door. That's crazy. I was 14. We started making out. I definitely was more like dominant. What the fuck am I talking about? I never really allowed myself to be like a submissive person, because to me that shit is whack. So in our relationship, I was always the one who was like starting shit, being more like assertive or whatever, and he would just like do whatever I said. I was like pushing him again. You know that picture of that like anime, that like Japanese schoolgirl and that like, I was basically doing that, but you know, I couldn't carry him because I was like frail and not strong enough to do that. So he was carrying me. While he was carrying me and pushing me against the wall, this is too TMI. While we were making out, let's just say that, I was like feeling this like headache start to form. It was like you know, bearable at first while we were still making out, but as he kept like trying to push his tongue down my throat, I was like, yo, what's going on? I kept like saying to myself, nah, you're good, you're just like tired from biking or whatever. This is another TMI description, but I definitely had an ED that time, so I would barely eat, and then I would just like go out for bike rides like 4 hours a day. And so that was definitely not healthy, and I was like wondering, yo, what's wrong with me? You got an ED, shorty. I don't know how to tell you this, but you know, I always like ignored it because I was delusional. The headache started to get like worse and worse the more he started like kissing me and we started to go at it. The more my back was pushing up against the wall, I started to feel like pressure behind my neck. I don't know what's wrong with me. I genuinely don't know, but I felt like my vision was going darker, or it was just the fact that it was already 7 at night and we were making out in this fucking playground. FYI, this playground did not have lights at all, and my phone was dead. Nada, nothing. I didn't even have data that time. I was definitely feeling funky as fuck. He was noticing it because I wasn't like kissing back anymore. He was like, yo, you good? And when he said that, I was like, damn, I have to keep this shit up. And so I was like, yeah, I'm good. And so I like kept kissing him still, and when I like kissed back, I felt really fucking bad. I don't know how to explain it, but my head was fucking throbbing, dog. And so I was like, yo, I need a break, because at that point I couldn't breathe, and I have low-key asthma, but it's not like to the point where I need to. He knows this too, like that I have something wrong with me, but they just can't pin it down just like I do. So he was like, okay, do you need to breathe? What do you need? And he was like low-key panicking. Listen, he's rich, I guess he's like academically smart, but like streetwise, I don't think this kid knows what the fuck is going on. He told me this later on. He told me like I was getting fucking pale, and so he was panicking, and I started panicking because he was panicking. I was just like, no, I just need like fresh air, you know. And so like we got out of the gazebo, and then we walked to the playground, and the playground was pitch black. I could not see a thing, but I sat down on like the swings, and I started like swinging. And then while I was swinging, I was like, okay, something's wrong, because I was really out of it. I could not see a thing. I really needed someone there, but still, I didn't want him there. So he was asking me like, yo, you good? And I'm just like, yeah, I'm fine. Listen, can you like go home? And he was like, what? And I was just like, yeah, you know, let's just call it a night. are you sure? You kind of don't look alright. And I was like, nah, I'm good. I just like need a fresh air, you know. While I was explaining to him like he should go home, my body was fucking collapsing. And then he was like, sure. While he was getting on his bike and I was still swinging on the swings and I was like trying to get my composure back, he was looking back at his bike to check on me. And a view of him just like looking back at his bike and like checking on me was so fucking funny. And he was just like biking off, and I kept like looking at him like, just go. He like left the playground with me dying there, which by the way, dude, fucking bad move, because what if something happens to me? Listen, he was 14 too. I could not blame him. He left me there and I was just like, okay, I need to get home right now. I took my phone out of my pocket and I was like, fuck, my phone is dead. And so I couldn't call anyone. I couldn't text my mom like, yo ma, I think I'm gonna go home a little late. I had like enough willpower to like walk over to where my bike was, which was like a few feet from where the playground was. And so I walked over there. And while I was walking, I was like, I was feeling my legs giving up on me. My body was really not having enough fuel to move because I was so deep into my ED. I was not eating, I was not sleeping, I was just like so unhealthy, dog. It's like a parking space and then a playground, so I was like in the middle of the parking space, pitch black, no one was there. Dropped my bike and then I just like fainted. I could have been kidnapped, bro. I don't know how I didn't die that night. I was laying there, barbecue sauce on my titties. No, I think I passed out. I don't know how long I was passed out for. It felt like 2 minutes or more. I don't know how nobody picked up my fucking unconscious body and took me home somewhere. And then I started to like gain consciousness back. I knew I was like awake at that point. And I was like, fuck, I could die right now, but I don't want to die in this fucking playground. That's fucking embarrassing. Just the willpower of me not wanting to die at a playground was enough. I got on my bike. I took like the last bits of energy I have left from my body, and then I started like pedaling home. I got home, I set that bike outside. I did not even bring it inside. My family noticed like, yo, are you good? And I didn't even like respond to them because I was just out of it, dog. When I charged my phone, I got like bombarded with these like messages like, yo, you good? He was sending me like concerned texts, but he wasn't concerned enough to check on me and stay with me until I get home. All right, dog. My friend, let's call her AK. And AK was texting me at the same time. Yo, Sam texted me to check on you. Like, yo, are you okay? Nah, dog, I fainted. Don't tell Sam. But at the same time, please tell Sam. AK said you fainted. And I was like, yeah, I did. And then he was like, do you know what happened? Damn, I should have stayed for you. Why didn't you stay then? Like, nah, I should have stayed with you. I'm so sorry. You good? What happened? Was it because of the kissing? And I was like, yeah, I kind of couldn't breathe that time. And then he was like, oh right, you have asthma. Is that contagious? I just looked at that text for so long. I already knew he was like kind of not smart, but at the same time that just like solidified what I was already thinking. Like, bro, are you fucking dead ass? All the wet pussy dripping he gave me is just gone at that point. I can't do this shit no more, dog. I just like tapped out that night and I'm just like, nah, I really don't want to deal with this shit. Me and Sam, it kept going for a while and I didn't really like cut it off whatsoever because Sam was like a really attractive kid. From what I remember, I don't see him anymore that often because, you know, we are neighbors. I don't remember how it like stopped because I remember like he definitely ghosted me at some point, but eventually he just like ghosted our entire friend group at once, and we were just like, man, Sam's fucking lame. And so we kept like hanging out without him because he really didn't respond to any of us. I remember like things not ending well between us. I don't remember why. I think it's just like a me problem, honestly, but you know, I really don't remember. I saw him once when I was like jogging around our village, and I wasn't even sure if that's him or not because he was buff, dog. Still short, but you know, he was buff. I thought this was gonna be like a better story than the last one, but honestly, it's not. Anyway, this channel's gonna be like a cheese me's channel. I need somewhere to vent. I don't know. I don't think I'm gonna be posting in a while. Yeah, that's pretty much it. I'm gonna hate editing this video for sure. Ooh. Adios.